You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Happening today, early voting begins for Sarasota County, where you can go to vote.
My hearts go out to the victims.
Plus, a developing story out of Jacksonville after 6 people were shot near the Jaguar Stadium. What we know about the investigation so far. And an act of kindness from officers in Ohio, what they had to do to save this deer stuck in a fence. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm Jess Dowdrick. Ray Collins is off today. It's October 22nd, 5 a.m. Let's head right over to meteorologist John Scalzi. John, I cheered this morning when I felt the temperatures outside.
Fantastic out there, Jess. Absolutely fantastic. It's a little taste of fall. First one so far. First day that I can remember when temperatures were below the 70-degree mark. So it feels just exquisite. Low relative humidity throughout the day. The only thing is we might get a few of these high-level clouds kind of streaming in. So that may bring the sky, a partly cloudy sky. But other than that, it's going to feel a lot like yesterday, even better than yesterday, when yesterday was pretty good, because of the lower relative humidity, lower dew points, and some really pleasant weather. Now, we do have Wilma back here in the Pacific heading toward Mexico, and Willow will eventually bring a little bit more moisture toward Texas, which will eventually bring a little bit more moisture toward our area, but that's going to be later in the week, and we'll talk about that in the next half hour. As far as our forecast for today goes, it's going to look a lot like it does right now, which is dry across the state. Our forecast high today tops out in the mid-80s, exactly where we should be for this time of year with low relative humidity. Exquisite day coming our way. More in a minute.
All right. Thanks, John. That's great news. Taking a look now at first alert traffic this morning. We begin in Manatee County. For the most part, things are running smoothly at this hour. There is a slight delay if you're heading north on US 41 as you approach State Road 684. We have a little bit of a delay there. But other than that, things are looking good. We head south into Sarasota County. It's all green. And even further south into South County, it's the same thing there. It's 5:02 on your Monday morning. Happening today, early voting begins in Sarasota County for the general election. Polls will be open this morning for those who want to get a head start on casting their votes. What you need to know before you head to the polls, for that we head out to Marla Spence, who joins us live from the Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections office on Washington Boulevard. Marla, what can you tell us?
Hey, Jess, I can tell you 6 polling locations will be opening at 8:30 this morning for early voting. Now, the Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections office have been getting ready for this day and also early voting that'll last through November 3rd. Now, just last week, the office tested voting equipment ahead of today to make sure that all of their equipment that'll be used during early voting is working. We had a chance to catch up with Supervisor of Elections, Ron Turner. He tells us voters can avoid delays by taking some easy steps. He says first to bring 2 forms of ID. That'll include your signature and also a photo, whether it be your driver's license and a passport. And he says secondly, to make sure that the voting process goes faster or easier for some folks, he says he encourages each voter to bring their sample ballots with them to the polls.
I would encourage voters when they go to vote in person to make sure that they take a sample ballot with them marked or some type of piece of paper with their choices. Voters, I would encourage them to be prepared and informed before they go to vote, because this is a very long ballot, one of the longest we've ever had in Sarasota County.
And this is also the first election where sample ballots in Spanish were sent out to Sarasota County residents. Now, although those Spanish ballots were sent out, the actual ballots at polls will be in English. So Ron Turner does say that those Spanish-speaking voters should bring their sample ballots with them, if they can't, just to bring someone who can translate for them. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Good to know. Thank you so much, Marla. Early voting in Manatee County begins on Wednesday. It also runs through November 3rd. For more on polling locations, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com. A developing story out of Jacksonville now after police say 6 people were shot at a laundromat over the weekend. Police say it happened about half a mile away from the stadium where the Jaguars play. 3 victims are in critical condition. Some witnesses say it appeared to be a drive-by shooting.
It was like about 10 shots. And so we ran and went for cover, and then I saw the police driving down, and a whole bunch of people were crowding down that way down there.
My hearts go out to the victims. You know, someone woke up this morning, probably come to a football game. Someone woke up to come down here and fellowship. And unfortunately, just last week, this community came together to have a Stop the Violence event, and this happened today. Over the last hour, I done gotten over 30 phone calls for individuals who live out here, and they are frustrated.
More than 24 people were hurt after a floor collapse in South Carolina early Sunday morning. The collapse was caught on camera, but we have to warn you, some people may find this video disturbing. DeAndre Milner captured this video. You can see people dancing, and then a large section of an apartment clubhouse floor gives way, sending people crashing to the basement below. 30 people were injured and taken to local hospitals. It's unclear if any of those injuries are life-threatening. It happened at an apartment complex about 3 miles away from Clemson University. Police say a private party was being held in the building when the floor gave way. The party was celebrating Clemson University's homecoming. Now to the killing of a Washington Post columnist, Jamal Khashoggi. A Saudi official is now offering a new explanation for how Khashoggi died at a consulate in Istanbul. This comes as President Trump appears to be changing course, accusing the Saudis of deception and lies. ABC's Molly Hunter has the new details from Istanbul.
This morning, the official Saudi explanation for the death of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi has changed once again. Days after blaming a fistfight for his death, a Saudi official now tells ABC News there was a physical altercation when Khashoggi tried to leave the consulate, and one of the accused suspects placed him in a chokehold. According to the Saudi official, that chokehold is what killed him. The same Saudi official says they don't know where Khashoggi's body is and that some local cooperator took his body for disposal. Another Saudi official told Reuters his body was rolled up in a rug. Khashoggi, a critic of the Saudi royal family, has not been seen since October 2nd when he walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Now 18 Saudis are in custody and 5 top intelligence officials have been fired, including Ahmed bin Hassan Asiri, a very close advisor to the Crown Prince.
We are determined to punish those who are responsible for this murder.
The Saudi foreign minister is standing by the claim that King Salman and the Crown Prince knew nothing, echoing President Trump's line from a few days ago when the president said rogue killers were responsible.
Even the senior leadership of our intelligence service was not aware of this. This was an operation that was a rogue operation. This was an operation where individuals ended up exceeding the authorities and responsibilities they had.
And President Trump is finally casting doubt on the Saudis' version of events, telling the Washington Post, obviously, there's been deception and lies.
Now, overnight, President Trump said he spoke with Turkish President Erdogan on the phone. Also, the Saudis are saying that MBS and King Salman phoned up the family of Jamal Khashoggi to express their condolences, but no confirmation of that from his family. Molly Hunter, ABC News, Istanbul.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says he will participate in a meeting in Saudi Arabia later this week. He'll be attending meetings that will focus on anti-terrorism financing. The meetings will involve government officials from Saudi Arabia and other Middle East partners. He'll be in Saudi Arabia beginning today and tomorrow as part of a week-long trip to the region. Mnuchin will also visit Jordan and Qatar. Looking ahead, our local beaches may be looking and smelling a lot better, but city officials are still looking into what they can do to reduce red tide. On Wednesday, the City of Venice will hold another red tide forum. They will be meeting with experts to discuss what can be done to reduce the flow of pollutants into the waterways. The meeting begins at 1 p.m. at Venice City Hall. The public is encouraged to attend. And remember, you can find all of our red tide coverage, including answers to your most asked questions, online at mysuncoast.com. Just click on Red Tide. Tomorrow, we should get an update on when construction will be completed in downtown Venice. For months, businesses have struggled as the city updates sidewalks and roadways there. The new tentative schedule comes as a result of weather and unforeseen underground conditions. Currently, work is underway on eastbound West Venice Avenue. That work is expected to end next month, right before work begins on the westbound lanes. Also happening tomorrow, Sarasota and Charlotte County commissioners may approve funding For beach renourishment on Minnesota Key, Charlotte County is expected to lay out $72,000 for the joint project. Sarasota is expected to pay Charlotte back at a later point in time. The move is expected to save both counties in the future. The project is needed after Hurricane Irma critically eroded the Barrier Island shoreline last year. A Charlotte County animal shelter is suspending all dog adoptions and intakes. That's after 3 of the dogs it brought in from the storm-ravaged areas were found to have distemper. Canine distemper is very contagious and it's a deadly disease. It's caused by a virus. However, it cannot be spread to humans or cats. That's why cat adoptions will not be impacted. If you're looking to get rid of some unwanted or expired medications, you're encouraged to head to Sarasota Police Department's Drug Take Back event for National Drug Take Back Day. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. next Saturday, you can help prevent pill abuse by bringing pills for disposal to the front lobby. The service is free and it's anonymous, no questions asked. Sarasota PD also has a permanent drop box in the lobby that can be accessed 7 days a week. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, police go above and beyond to rescue a deer. And coming up a little later in the hour, 1 week later, and the desperate search for a missing Wisconsin teen continues, what one community is doing in her honor. And now it's 5:11. We take a live look outside. Look at that gorgeous moon as it shines over the water. John, what can we expect temperature-wise today? Will the cool temperatures stay? Yeah, it's going to be nice today. In fact, we're reducing temperatures back to about average for this time of year, as opposed to well above average, 8 to even 10 degrees above average, which is where we were all last week. None of the inclement weather boxes checked. We're not going to see any rainfall today or tomorrow for the next several days, actually. We'll look for upper 60s, less humid and sunny on the way to work, on the way home, dry. I put sunny, but let's call it partly cloudy. And we'll look for little in the way of any kind of impediments for travel this morning. All airport hubs serving Sarasota Bradenton on time according to the FAA. Forecast in a minute.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, yo, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Civics on sale is now. During our model year-end sale, drive new Civics for just $169 a month. You made Civic the best-selling compact car in America. And now get Civic, a KBB.com's best buy of the year for less than the competition. New Civics just $169 a month. Your last chance for Civics, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Teachers inspire our children and promote a lifetime of learning. So ABC7 and Gettle Automotive want to honor these chalkboard champions by giving them the chance to win $500. But we need your help. Go to mysuncoast.com/chalkboardchampions to nominate an outstanding teacher who's really making a difference. And each month we'll deliver $500 to one teacher in Sarasota County and one teacher in Manatee County. Go to mysuncoast.com and nominate your chalkboard champion today.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Oh, look how great that is, huh? 67 degrees the air temperature. We have a dew point now of 61. It'll probably dip down into the 50s before it starts rising again as we head into the next 24, 48 hours. But nevertheless, that's a beautiful temperature, and it feels so good outside. This is going to be an event that'll probably last most of the week, these cooler temperatures, although we will start to see the dew points begin to rise and the temperatures begin to rise as well as we head into the later half of the week when we have a chance of rainfall. Temperatures today, they'll climb up to about 85 under mostly sunny skies to start, followed by partly cloudy skies as we head into the afternoon. No rain in today's forecast, or really for the next several days. Titan radar absolutely clean as a whistle, except for a few scattered showers down to the south. Back to the west, there are still some showers around coastal Texas. We'll be watching this area for the development of a low pressure area, non-tropical, but nevertheless a good low pressure area that moves toward the east, producing a fair amount of rainfall. So it will be a strong one. Plus, I think it'll probably tap into some moisture from Willa. Willa is now a major hurricane moving up toward parts of west coastal Mexico. That'll be moving onshore probably tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. And as it does so, it'll rapidly weaken as it crosses these mountainous regions of central Mexico. And then its moisture possibly moving off toward Texas, producing some heavier rainfall there. We'll watch this developing low pressure build. High pressure will be our weather driver for the next several days, but we will start to see our winds twist a little bit. We will start to see a little increase in moisture, and then we'll watch this low as it moves toward us and brings us some rain shower chances probably about Friday. It'll also bring down some drier air just in time for the weekend, though. So we'll get the rain showers out of the way later in the work week, and then the weekend looks like it'll be beautiful. Less humid, fair weather clouds today, and we'll look for rain later in the week. Those are the weather highlights that really take you right through the week ahead. Satellite view of the tropics looks pretty quiet in the Atlantic. Nothing here for us to worry about. And in Gulf waters and Caribbean waters and near Atlantic all look just fine. So there's no tropical development there. And the low pressure area that will be developing in the Gulf water later in the week will be non-tropical in nature. So really nothing there to worry about too much. Northeast wind coming in at about 10 to 15 today. Looking at pretty quiet conditions for today and tomorrow. And really the day after, though, we'll start to talk about a little bit of chance of rain showers. And then as we head into Thursday and Friday, breezy on Friday with that low pressure area moving through. And as we head into the weekend, some slightly cooler temperatures. Check it out. Low 80s for daytime highs and nighttime lows in the mid 60s, maybe even some lower 60s. Back to you.
All right, look at those temperatures. A beautiful week it appears to be ahead. Taking a look now at First Alert traffic as you head out the door. No major issues to report in Manatee County. There is a slight slowdown on US 301 as you're heading northbound at the intersection of State Road 70. Other than that, things are running smoothly as we head south into Sarasota County. Nothing to report there. And as we head even further south into southern Sarasota County, a little further south, there we go. Things are running smoothly there as well. There's a little bit of a slowdown on US 41 as you head south into South Venice. Now, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the World Championship of Tetris was held over the weekend, the mesmerizing video, and so much more in today's Tech Bites.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Blue 32! Blue 32! Hut hut! It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com. Gatto's got it.
Where to go and what to do in Birmingham, Alabama. Personalized just for you. Find your sweet spots at alabama.travel/sweet spot.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Take a look at this. Here's a feel-good story from Monday morning. Ohio police officers helping to free a deer. Officers helped a deer who'd gotten herself stuck in the rails of a fence on Saturday afternoon. They had to cover the animal's face to keep her calm. It took a while, but officers were able to help guide her legs out of the fence. The doe is expected to be just fine. Elon Musk's Boring Company is almost ready to show off its first Hyperloop tunnel. ABC's Candace Gibson and Janae Norman have the details.
In today's Tech Bites, a step forward for one of Elon Musk's biggest ideas.
He says a 2-mile test tunnel for his Hyperloop will open December 10th in Los Angeles. There will be free rides for the public the next day. The Tesla CEO has unveiled plans for a rapid underground transit system of stations across Los Angeles. The first reviews are in for Google's Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL.
Users say the display for both phones are a big improvement from the Pixel 2, and some say it's the best smartphone camera they have seen. The phone itself is getting mixed reviews. Some users say the back scratches very easily. And this is the moment of a major upset in playing a video game.
A 16-year-old beat the 7-time world champion in classic Tetris. It was his first time in the finals. He said his goal was just to qualify.
And look how fast the blocks are falling. Tetris, by the way, nearly twice as old as the new champ. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Disabled American Veterans.
I am a veteran. I lost both legs in Vietnam.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory was getting my benefits and a good education.
DAV helps veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I'm a veteran. I didn't want to admit it, but I have PTSD.
So veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory was finding help and learning that I wasn't alone.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Smile, Dad.
I take medication for high blood pressure and cholesterol, but they may not be enough to protect my heart.
Adding Bayer aspirin can further reduce the risk of another heart attack.
Because my second chance matters.
Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
We're gonna replace candy with some healthy Halloween treats today. These are called veggie fruit chews.
Mine tastes like poop. Mine tastes like broccoli. Yuck. I want candy.
Bring on the candy. Crest has you covered.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
We need better, a better life. That's why we're here.
A caravan of migrants from Central America has crossed from Guatemala into Mexico, heading toward the U.S., the obstacles they have to overcome. Plus, a developing story out of Taiwan. Take a look at this video of a massive train derailment that killed at least 18 people and injured more than 100. And theme park lovers, listen up. The new parking rates you'll encounter the next time you go to Universal Studios. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back. I'm Jess Dowdrick. Ray Collins is off today. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning. It's 5:30 as we head over to meteorologist John Scalzi, who, if you're just waking up, he has some good news for you in terms of temperatures this week and especially today. John?
Yeah, we had a well-forecast frontal boundary move through, and now the drier air is on its way southward, moving into the area. We do have a little bit of high-level cloudiness. The front itself is actually stalled down to the south, and that's where it'll stay. But we get some of the clouds still resulting from that front that'll produce just some fair weather hints of the frontal boundary south of us. It'll also be a cool day today, much cooler than we have seen last week, with daytime high temperatures only in the mid-80s. So that's exactly where it should be, and it'll feel beautiful. Forecast for you in just a few.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look now at first alert traffic. We begin in Manatee County. A few minor issues to report. If you're heading north on US 301, expect some delays just after you pass over State Road 70. There is some backup building there. Also on US 41 in both directions, also near the intersection of State Road 70. And as we head south into Sarasota County, everything is running smoothly there. No issues to report. And as we head even further south to our last map in southern Sarasota County, it's the same thing there. It's 5:31 on your Monday morning. A caravan of migrants from Central America has crossed from Guatemala into Mexico, heading toward the U.S. The men, women, and children say they are fleeing poverty and violence, but the journey has been anything but easy. As John Lawrence shows us, there are more hurdles that are ahead.
Thousands of Central Americans, most of them from Honduras, are marching toward the United States.
This bridge, this river, they can't stop me, she says. I am an all-terrain woman.
They cite corruption and gang violence as to why they're leaving their homelands.
Our message is we're not criminals. We're coming over here because we want to work. We need a job. We need better, a better life. That's why we're here.
I don't want my kids in the middle of crime. I don't want to have the lives of my children further destroyed.
Mexican officials have been overwhelmed with asylum requests and have asked the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees to help with processing migrants. President Trump, meanwhile, has issued a warning. Those who don't apply for asylum in Mexico will not be allowed to enter the U.S.
I will seal off the border before they come into this country, and I'll bring out our military, not our reserves. I'll bring out our military.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen says the U.S. is keeping a close eye on the caravan and will prosecute those who are trying to profit from irregular migration. Some of the migrants are low on money, but they keep moving forward, hoping for the best.
We have faith in God. He has the final word.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
About 2,000 people in the caravan have turned back home, according to the Honduran Foreign Ministry. A developing story out of Taiwan this morning. A massive train derailment has killed at least 18 people and injured at least 170 as well. The train was traveling between the cities of Shulin and Taitung when it derailed on Sunday. 8 train cars flew off the tracks and 5 of them flipped upside down. Right now, officials in Taiwan are trying to find the cause of the deadly train derailment. The general election is now just weeks away, and the race for Florida governor is heating up. Last night, Republican gubernatorial candidate Ron DeSantis and Democratic gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum went head-to-head, both looking for votes in this race. Now, one hot topic, what they could do about red tide.
For 20 years,
We've handed over the keys of environmental protection in this state to, quite frankly, again, the biggest corporate polluters. We're going to hold them accountable because this is our air, our water, our beaches, our oceans, and there's not a profit margin in this state big enough to take control of that.
I was the one that got White House approval for the federal component of the Southern Reservoir, which we will get online, we will build, because what you need to do is you need to send water into that reservoir, clean it, send it south to the Everglades and Florida Bay, so you're not discharging the polluted water into the Caloosahatchee and St. Lucie estuaries. I'll be able to get that done.
And a reminder, early voting for Sarasota County begins today. Early voting for Manatee County begins on Wednesday. As each day passes without the missing 13-year-old girl from Wisconsin, the community is doing everything they can to help find Jamie Kloss. Lindsay Ford talked to some people in Barron County, Wisconsin, who are selling bracelets in her honor.
This doesn't happen.
It's really painful of what's been going on around here.
Barron County community members are deeply distraught over the disappearance of 13-year-old Jamie Kloss, so they're taking action. Green bracelets with the words reading #FindJamieKloss were sold at several locations. John and Sheila Gonsowski both bought a $5 bracelet at Brian's Smokehouse Deli on Saturday.
I got a grandson that's about her age, and you think this could have happened to him too. It's time that something gets done to stop this kind of stuff. Pray to God and hope that they find a little girl.
All the proceeds of each sold bracelet will go to the Kloss family.
Just growing up, I used to walk to school with one of her older cousins, and Jamie would be getting dropped off by her mom, Denise, at the house and getting ready to go to school or whatever. And it's just been such a nice thing to see Jamie grow up through over the years, and she is just such a sweet young girl.
Shayla Paxton, an employee at the deli, says she knew the Kloss family very well. Paxton says she is hoping for a safe return of Jamie Kloss.
I wear it for Jamie's family, the family that I have grown up knowing throughout the years, ever since kindergarten. I really hope they find Jamie. She is just truthfully a sweet and loving girl. And I want her to come home now, as much as the family, sure, they need to as well.
That was Lindsay Ford reporting. Jamie Kloss has been missing since October 14th after her parents were found in their home. They were dead. Police do believe she was in the home when they died. They also believe that she is in danger. A recent crash in Mayaca City has some drivers demanding change. Locals say the stretch of road from State Road 70 to 253rd Street East to the DeSoto County line is an accident waiting to happen. A teen is recovering from injuries after a multi-vehicle crash in that area on Thursday involving a Mack truck. Now, some local drivers say they don't want any other people getting hurt. They've contacted Manatee County commissioners about making a change.
Something's got to be done before someone else loses another family.
DOT says it's in the final stages of a speed study in that area of State Road 70, which could lead to a lower speed limit. State leaders are also looking at the intersections with Verna and Verna-Bethany roads and will coordinate with Manatee County to determine if they should make improvements in those areas. The next time you go to Universal or Islands of Adventure, expect to pay more for parking. The theme park has raised its parking prices, the change coming just days after Disney World raised its parking rates. Regular parking is now $25. That's up from $22. If you want to save on parking, you can go after 6 p.m. when parking is free, except during Halloween Horror Nights. In addition to parking, Disney on Tuesday raised prices for annual passes and changed the pricing structure for multi-day tickets. Now take a look at this. The Tampa Bay Bucks snapped a 3-game losing streak with a win against the Cleveland Browns. Chandler Catanzaro kicked a 59-yard field goal, which is the longest ever in overtime. With less than 2 minutes remaining, the Bucks ended up winning 26-23. Still ahead, happening today, early voting begins for Sarasota County. ABC's Marla Spence will have a live report. As we take a look outside this morning, you may not be able to see it, but those temperatures feel great as we look over the city of Sarasota. John, Tell people the good news this morning.
Yeah, nice temperatures for you this afternoon. In fact, for the kids' bus stop forecast, it's fantastic. As good a weather as we have seen so far this season. We'll look for 70 for the pickup time, and for the drop-off time about 85 degrees. And no issues either way. Clear skies for the morning, and in the afternoon we'll see maybe a few clouds around, but no rainfall. We'll look for a daytime high and sky conditions that make it a 10 out of 10 chance of an outside recess today. Your forecast in a minute.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hut hut. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name's Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Cancer doesn't run in my family. That really was the farthest thing from my mind. I've been an athlete my whole life, and I work in sports, so my mindset was just, let's fight. So our stories are all unique, so whatever you're going through, ask questions, get information, and be involved. Don't ignore the signs. Join the fight. I'm Tony Beasley, and I'm a stage 2 colorectal cancer survivor.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We have a 67-degree air temperature outside. That feels just so nice. Plus, combine that with a dew point of 61, and it feels like it should at this time of year, as opposed to those well above average temperatures that we've been having for such a prolonged period of time. So now a little bit of break. It's not going to last. This is not the one that's going to take us into the 60s and keep us there, but it will last for about 3 days. It's not going to last for weeks on end. But we will see perhaps even a stronger cold front coming our way in about 7 days. So there's good news down the horizon, I suppose. The 81-degree relative humidity, the air temperature and the dew point are exactly the same. Finally, we're not talking about heat indexes this morning anyway. As we progress through the morning, we'll look for lots of sunshine around. Little in the way of any kind of a rain chance all day long. And as we head into the afternoon, maybe just a few fair weather clouds coming our way, but nothing, as I mentioned, that's going to produce rain showers probably till we get till midweek or later. Our temperature tops out at about 85 degrees today, which is spot on average for this time of year. Across the region, Titan radar showing quiet conditions. That's the way it's going to be all afternoon long. Nothing in the way of any kind of rainfall for us. But back to the west, we do have some showers in progress on the western part of the Gulf waters. We'll be watching this area over the next several days. There will be a chance of seeing some development take place here. A little low pressure area, and a fairly decent one, will develop and produce a lot of rainfall for parts of the northern Gulf Coast, including areas of the Panhandle, which were hit so hard by Michael. We'll watch this frontal boundary, which is producing these rain showers, eventually tap into some of the moisture from the Willa, which is a major hurricane, 155-mile-an-hour winds right now, lifting northward toward the Mexican coastline. Now, it will weaken with time before it makes landfall tomorrow night or into Wednesday morning, but it will still pack a punch, possibly still as a major hurricane coming onshore, but will rapidly weaken as it crosses the mountainous regions of Mexico and heads toward Texas. So we're not looking for a tropical system in Texas so much as just a lot of rainfall, most likely. The low pressure area which will develop will be on the tail end of this frontal boundary, kind of meandering through the Gulf waters. That little low develops and then gradually drifts toward the Florida coastline. Now, we're not going to see anything that'll get too terribly strong, but we'll certainly tap into some of that moisture and produce a rain chance for us as we head into the end of the work week. Less humid today, fair weather, maybe a few clouds around, but that's all. Rain later in the week, particularly Thursday into Friday, most likely, and then clearing everything out just in time for the weekend, so the timing could not be better. Forecast looks pretty good in the tropics. Nothing here that worries us. In the near tropics, everything is fine. The Caribbean, Gulf waters, Atlantic waters all look A-OK. No issues for any kind of development for us. So the forecast looks like this. For boating today, northeast wind at about 15 to 20, slightly elevated because of the proximity of the front down to the south. So watch for that. You'll still have a choppy condition out there on bay and inland waters today. Have a no rain chance for today or tomorrow. A slight rain chance as we head into Wednesday, but that's another frontal boundary, a weak one that'll be moving through. It'll drop our temperature maybe a degree or two. And then the rain chance that you see Thursday into Friday is from that low that I was talking about that'll move through here and bring certainly some cooler air in time for the weekend. It'll also kick up the wind speeds a bit on Friday, so boaters, watch out for that forecast as we head into the weekend. And then over the weekend, we look for sunny skies for the most part, no rainfall, and cooler temps. Back to you.
All right, it's starting to feel like fall. Thanks, John. Taking a look at first alert traffic now this morning, we begin in Manatee County where there is an accident to report on US 41 southbound between US 301 10th Street and US 301 1st Street. There are some delays there. And on US 301 as you head northbound just after you cross over State Road 70, there is some delays there. And on State Road 64 moving in both directions if you're heading toward Holmes Beach or toward US 41. And as we head south into Sarasota County, there are some slight delays on University Parkway if you're heading westbound toward US 301. There are also some delays on Clark Road heading in both directions, but nothing major to report at this point in time. And in South County, things are looking all clear. It's 5:47 on your Monday morning. Happening today, early voting begins in Sarasota County for the general election. Polls will be opening this morning for those who want to get a head start on casting their votes. For what you need to know before you head to the polls, let's head out to our Marla Spence, who joins us live from the Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections office. Marla, what can you tell us?
Hey, just 6 polling locations will be opening at 8:30 this morning for early voting, including this location here on Washington Boulevard. Now, staff with the Supervisor of Elections office in Sarasota County have been getting ready for some time now for early voting that'll last through November 3rd. Now, just last week, the office tested voting equipment ahead of today to make sure all the equipment that'll be used during early voting and the general election in November is working. Now, we had a chance to catch up with the Supervisor of Elections Ron Turner. He tells us voting, you can avoid delays when it comes to voting by taking some easy steps. Turner says to first bring 2 forms of ID that'll include a signature and a photo, whether it be your driver's license and a passport. And secondly, to make sure that the voting process goes faster, he says that he encourages each voter to be well aware of what's on the ballot and who they plan to vote for.
In order to help make the process smooth and efficient, there may be some slight waits, but what would help it along is if people come prepared and aren't reading the ballot for the first time in the voting booth. So if they know ahead of time, for the candidates and issues they plan on voting for, that would help the process a lot. So just encourage people to be prepared a little ahead of time when they come to vote.
And for reference, Ron Turner says that Sarasota County voters should bring their sample ballots, just like this one, which was mailed out earlier this month. Now, it is also important to remember that this is the first election where sample ballots in Spanish were sent out to Sarasota County residents. Now, sample ballots that were sent out in Spanish, those sample ballots are only in Spanish. The ones in the voting poll locations are not in Spanish. They are only in English. So Ron Turner says it is important for Spanish-speaking voters to bring those sample ballots or bring someone who can translate for them. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. A lot of great information there. Don't forget, early voting for Manatee County begins on Wednesday. For a list of polling locations, you can visit our website, mysuncoast.com. In entertainment news, want to see something really scary? Head to your local theater this week. David Daniel has details in the Hollywood Minute.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
This Halloween, you can see Night of the Living Dead like never before. Before he died last year, George A. Romero supervised the restoration of his zombie classic, which most fans have only seen in fuzzy, murky versions for this year's 50th anniversary. October 24th and 25th, hundreds of U.S. theaters will show the film in 4K Ultra HD, remastered from the original camera negative. Check your local listings if you dare. A Star is Born is still the star of the Billboard charts. The soundtrack for the hit musical is #1 on the Billboard 200 albums chart for the 2nd straight week. It's Lady Gaga's 2nd album to repeat at #1 after 2011's Born This Way.
This is a new race, a new species, a higher life form.
Venom may have lost the top spot at the domestic box office, but it's still going strong. The horror thriller scored a 3rd straight weekend atop the international box office, and global ticket sales are topping $461 million. And that's before the film opens in China and Japan. That's scary good in any language. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, you're taking a live look now at the city of Sarasota. What a beautiful Monday morning here. We'll be right back with more news and your forecast just ahead.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
When ABC 7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Welcome back. We're going to head right over to meteorologist John Scalzi for one last look at your forecast.
Yeah, so today I think the things on the weather board that are most appealing to me are the lower humidity and the cooler temperatures. We'll come in today at about 85 degrees, and that's about average for this time of year. We'll watch for the less humid conditions to last for days, really. Our dew points will be near 70 and rain-free skies. Back to you, Jess.
All right, it's 5:55. We'll be right back with another full hour of news and weather.